And there we are. We still, if you're watching on YouTube, sorry, but we had to do a little bit of setup there. And if you're watching on Facebook, welcome to the live stream. Thank you for being here, and let's get started because, yeah, I just had a great idea for a set today, and I think you, if you're watching, you'll appreciate this. This part of the story. So what we're gonna do is to keep it modular, because the whole idea is that this set that I'm gonna build today in this stream, and let's hope I can finish it in this stream, will also be modular. This is also something you can add to the other sets. All right. I am not 100% sure whether I will have it on 1 or on 2, but I'm thinking 1. I think this should be a smaller set that I'm gonna build on actually, and yeah, that's where I guess we'll see where we're gonna go. I'm just gonna quickly open Facebook and see if I can get the live chat, the actual live chat, so that if anyone's chatting that I can see that. I'm a little bit new, I have to admit, to Facebook live chat, so bear with me when it comes to that. Right now I don't even see the live chats, the live stream on Actually, if you're watching on YouTube, we weren't even live on Facebook yet, so let's see if we can go live now. All right, let's see if this works. And that should put us live on Facebook. There we go. Okay, if you are watching on YouTube, then our apologies for the messing around, but as I said, we're also trying to stream on YouTube because we do have a lot of followers there, so it makes sense for us to also live stream there if we're able, and we should be able. At least we should be able. Trying to refresh the page, and there we are. I have to say it's a lot easier to go live on Facebook, but hey, sorry, on YouTube. But if you are joining us on Facebook, this is our live stream there. Thank you for joining us, and let's get started. Let's get started. So, as I was talking to the audience on YouTube, what we're going to do today is actually design a set that you can integrate modularly to the other sets and part of the city of Capernaum. Because if you've seen our other products, if you're not new to the page, if you're not new to the live stream, then you know that our other products, we've started mainly on the city of Capernaum. So the idea is that when you combine all the sets, you have a Lego representation of the city of Capernaum. Obviously there's artistic liberty, but yeah, and so that you can, more importantly, tell the stories of the New Testament that took place in Capernaum. That, of course, is the real aim here. So that's where we're at. And yeah, where do we start? So I actually took this in already, but I want to start to the side of this. And on the side of this, if you have a big screen, you can probably already see the title. But in case you want to sort of try and guess what we're going to build, don't look at that. And basically try and guess what it is that we're trying to build. Now, I need to go to main parts, and then I had a part in mind, but this is gonna be the most difficult part for me to find, because where do I find this part? And it's something like this, I think that's what they call them. And of course, let's go through the list here. And see if I can find the type of wheel that I'm looking for. And it has to be quite a big wheel. But we're not actually going to use it as a wheel. We might use it as a wheel, but not an actual wheel, if that makes any sense. I actually sent myself a picture of it on my phone when I found it. Oh, I actually have the number of it, so bear with me, because I have the number. The part number is 68325. So if I do like that, hey, now we're talking. So we've got that, and then what we need is part number. Oh god, I should have taken a better screenshot. 43898. Now the question is, will this actually fit the way I think it will fit? So this will go here, but we gotta connect it, so we need to find a connector bit. Which should be somewhere here, because I don't want to use those connectors. Should be a smaller one. So we're looking for something similar to this, but smaller. And I can't remember for love or money what it's called. And I'm wondering if you're watching on Facebook, is the video good? Is the quality good? You know, let us know. Give us a shout. Also on YouTube, is the video good? Is the sound good? Let us know. Maybe we could use this connected bit, but I'm not sure. Or this. So obviously we want to have it in this hole, which this one I don't think. I think this one is too big. We can give it a good quick try actually. Yeah, and then I think this would fit perhaps, but so here's the trick. We take it from the middle and then that should, well, this is just to quickly, yeah, no, that's not the connector bit that we want. We want one where it sits deeper. So we want something similar, but not that one. We don't want that one. So this is sort of part of the whoa, that is a lot bigger than I thought it would be actually. That is a chunky monkey actually. What if I look for a pin? A pin. I mean, that's what I would call it. Now the question is, just because that's what I would call it, is that what Lego would call it? That is the real question. Because just because I call it that way, that doesn't mean Lego calls it that way. So this is what we use for connecting, obviously, and then I think I'm just also looking on my phone. It's a bar, that's what it is. So good thing I did save it on my phone. Does it go like that or the other way around? Doesn't make a difference, I think. Which, yeah. So I could move it manually like so. That's the idea. And then what we really want is let's see if you guys can figure out what this is going to be. If I give this color, you will figure out what it is right away. So this would be, I think it's easier to find this way. I think it would be here, and then I think I would want to put this on top, but I need to see what the underneath. Yeah, it's not that one. Is it this one? No. that one. This one should fit on here. Maybe I need to take this off and then put this there. If it will let me. Just making sure it's sitting all right from all angles. And then take them both together. And then put them both on there. And then both push them down. And then we have something that will rotate in this. So this will rotate, right? That's the idea. And then, so let's give this a color. I think that would be a good color actually, for the base and also for the pin. And then this could be a lot of colors actually, but I think I will go for brown. I think that would make most sense back then. And then this, I would go either, yeah, light brown, or maybe the tan. Medium tan maybe. Maybe actual tan. Let's have a look. I don't know if this should be medium tan or actual tan. I'm gonna put medium tan for now. And then obviously if somehow it doesn't look alright, then and so look, when you see this process and you get to the end of me finishing this build, you will think I've done it kind of backwards, but there's a reason to that. There's a reason to that. So the Rice family to Portugal. Good to have you watching. Good to have you watching, guys. And definitely to Portugal, guys. Like, we need you to come back. We need you to come back as soon as possible because we miss you a lot. And I'm glad you're watching. Sound is good. And that's on YouTube, by the way. That's on YouTube. So thank you for that. I hope the video is good as well. Rice family. I'm not gonna use your first names because I don't want to dox you. So let's see. Let's see. I kind of gave it away there already. If you saw what I typed, I kind of gave it away. But I don't know if I should have that one. Or, so I know there's a Lego bucket as well. That's a bit big now. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Either this one or this one. So what we're going to do, I'm just quickly going to go to Matthew's Toll Boot. I don't have any minifigures here. So what we're going to do is quickly open another MOC with figures. And how about we do all figures? Because then you can see all figures real quick. And that's all the figures. Quick. And what are we going to do? We are going to grab one of them to be... So obviously it's going to be Jesus. Obviously. So who else would we put? And just for sizing, really. So let's put Jesus there. Yeah, okay, it's definitely going to be this one. So if this is going to go on top of here, then let's move it up a little bit. Then yeah, it's gonna be this is gonna be, I can tell this is far too, oh, this is far too big. Like, not that he couldn't do it, but it doesn't make sense with what we're going to do it. So let's have a quick look. Just need to quickly drag this over here. This is something you guys can't see. This is not on stream because I'm trying to figure out where I can see. There you go. I've got Rhonda on Facebook. Very good to have you here, Rhonda. Sorry if I didn't acknowledge you sooner, but I actually couldn't see your comment until now. That is why. But good to have you on Facebook, and I think we've got the other half, if that's if I can use that term, on YouTube, which is really, really cool. And I don't know if you heard me back then, but I did say that we miss you a lot, and I can speak for both me and Rita. So, all right. This needs to be. No, that is too orange. That is too orange. Can you already see where this is going? Brownie points for anyone who can guess what I'm trying to make here. Maybe I'm not 100% sure about this color, but it needs to look like a certain something. I will tell Rita, and I will tell everybody at church that you miss them. I think they know. I think like at game nights they already knew. Yeah, I do like the orange one better actually. Let's go for this for now. We can always change it. It's as easy as a click. As easy as one click. So, brownie points if you can guess what we're making. And also want to do the next part. I gotta kind of do a cheat here. Not a cheat, but because I had an idea of, and I think I was going to use this for that. I guess sometimes it's really easy to find what piece I'm looking for, and sometimes it's like, yeah, no, not today, Jim. Not today. Today you will manually have to look. I think it's gonna be here actually. And because I actually need this part to build what I need. I could do it another way, but I don't think it will look as good. That's the issue. And this is a part that I generally don't use, so it's harder to find. Okay, luckily I did write it down. I thought I was gonna find it, but what is this even called? We'll be able to see. Telescope. I thought it was a spy. You would also call this you would call this a spyglass. The telescope is the big one. Lego, fix this, please. Fix it. All right. Then what I'm gonna need is a 6x1, which that is easier to find. So 6x1, like that. And yeah, literally I'm building everything on this side. Then I'll put it here to sort of look at for the spacing of the house, because I'm gonna build a house around it. Spoiler alert, I'm gonna build a house around it. So you can probably guess that this is some kind of construction, or dare I say a rack. And then the question is how we're gonna fill in this rack. Maybe you guys can guess. No, for the next bit, I know which bit I want. The question again is going to be, where am I gonna find it? And I think I'm gonna find it here. I think. I know I have it in another build. So worst case scenario, I could go to one of my other builds and then just pick it from there. But it would be so nice if I could just find it here. It is a piece, something like this, like it's a 2x1 with one stud in the middle. So maybe if I just do 2x1, and then I look in plate only. Yeah, here we are. I just need to check the underneath. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay, and then we just Control C, Control V. That's the name of the game. Like so. And then no, it's not wine into water. Although, yes, that could also be a scene. Yes. That will definitely have to be a set. Like, the wedding should definitely be a set. I think that's what you mean, Rice Family, right? I think that's what you mean. I want to check one thing. So 95343. Is that is not the same. That is, yeah. So that is, because I wrote down a lot of buckets, but I don't want it. I don't want it to be a bucket. That's the thing. But I think from my measurements, only this will fit there, and this one will not fit there, and so I wouldn't be able to do what I want to do. And now I think I want to make this look like wood, so we want to go for brown. Oh, forgot to. Brown, and then this can also, but what color? I kind of feel that might be too similar. This would be like the finish color. Maybe we want to have them not in the finish color, but in the not so finished color. That's the question. And then we could have a table, but of course this is the main things that we're trying to fit in this house. The main things. So the question is, have we figured it out yet? What it's going to be. So I think if I'm leaving space, let's have a wall here, leave at least 3 space here. I kind of want to look at what did I do for Matthew's toll booth just to have the consistency. So I left at least 2 space minimum. Yeah, I can leave more space. And then I am going to actually take his toll booth and I'm going to copy it here, not because we're going to have his toll booth, but because I am going to use quite a few of these bricks and it will be easier to copy from here than try and find all these in here. So that's a little bit of a quick way of doing it. So let's start with this back wall here. Start building up a wall. Although, do I want to do this like this? Just to have a little bit. Again, all of this can be changed in the future to really work on the structural integrity. There we go. If I could speak, of the build, which I try to take into account first, then I do a test build, like an actual live build, like here with my hands with bricks. Then I adapt accordingly, and then it's finished and I put it on the side and it's ready to be ordered from our producer, essentially. That is, give or take, roughly the way this works. Roughly. For this one, I think I want to have sort of like an open build, perhaps, because I want this to be accessible. I want the children to be able to play with what's here. So I need to think of a way where that is possible. And I'm really thinking of how would I construct that. So we obviously we want this in there as well, so the minifigures can do their job, essentially. But how are we going to configure that in such a way that we can open it? Now, obviously, Matthew opens this way, so this part swings open that way. And I could do something similar here. But I'm not sure. Because if this is to swing open, it won't go around. So it'd have to swing open from this side, and then this would still be quite hard to access. These parts I sort of thought about, but accessibility, because I do want the children to be able to play with it. And how do I make that happen, right? How do I make that happen? This is one thing to make a set and you can tell the story, of course, but you want the children to be able to play with it and act it out and all that good stuff, really. So maybe a way of folding it open type thing, that could be... Maybe something with a rail? A rail where the front can be taken off and in? That could maybe be a way of doing it. And then that way I could sort of finish this here. I could finish like that, and then have something from this side, and then this would sort of be the house, right? Let's put this in there as well, just to see sort of placement wise, because we want a little bit of space on the back. And I feel this is too small, actually. This is I really feel that there should be more space around the centerpiece. Let's call it the centerpiece so that I just still don't give away what we're actually building. Although by now, I think people know what it is. And let's see. I could make it wider. I mean, Matthews is also one wider. Like make it like this. And then it would be on par with Matthews from those sides, and then you'd have the extra space here. And then still have space to combine it with other sets to, you know, have space between the buildings. And of course, in reality, those buildings didn't have that much space between them. throw that one on that side. And just to get an outline, this is not set in stone. Sometimes it does this, especially with the special bricks. Don't know why it does that. I think it's a Lego Studio thing. Yeah, this looks a lot better. Than obviously I need to move this whole thing. Yeah, that makes much more sense. And then what I would want is these things are called arches. Yeah, and I would want a bigger arch. Arch. Yeah, I would want this arch, I think, for the back and for the side, actually. That's what I would want. And then obviously raised, but I want to have a big window here and a big window there. This I will have as a full wall. And I still gotta find a mechanism for the fronts, because the way this is will be open, obviously this will be very accessible to put minifigures, to play with stuff. At least that's the idea, right? Of course, the big question is, how do we do that? I might have to think about that to figure out a way to do that. I could also make it so that the whole roof just comes off. There's a technique for that, to make that a thing. That could also be the way forward here. So that you, from the top, and then of course you do have a lot of vision from the big windows and stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna quickly, just for my own reference. I mean, this obviously will not be how I build it, but just for my own reference, real quick. Don't try this at home, kids, type thing. It needs to be even higher. Yeah, that would be roughly, have like a really big window, maybe even with wooden shutters that can open and close. Then do the same for the other side. Turn this sideways. Now here is where it's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the back, but we've got it. Yeah, I think this will need shutters and probably one more layer on top. Like, otherwise the windows will be a bit much. They'll practically be doorways, which should not be era appropriate. Because we do want it to be era appropriate, right? And then obviously the roof will have the same sort of feature as here, that they will be similar in that sense. So let's have a look. we've got an idea here. So if anyone didn't guess already, I'm gonna give it away now. What we're trying to build here, or at least making a start on, yeah, is a potter's shop. Why a potter's shop? Now, those of you who read your Bible, but like clay in the hands of the potter, I feel that is a huge story that needs to be told to kids, and hence, and there's other stories that need to be told, which we'll also be adding, which already, yeah, that's the idea here. And then this is the real potter, right, in the story. So that's the idea. And there will be other shops that have other stories in a similar vein. There's already one other that I know that I'm gonna make. And perhaps there's more, but I can't actually think of any right now. But there's one more that I will make that also tells a Bible story. Anyway, that's it for the stream. Thank you all for watching. And I hope to see you on the next stream. Tune in live. Generally, we'll stream about at least an hour. And I think with all the setup, and this is the issue, we did have a bit of a setup because we were streaming on Facebook for the first time. But generally, we'll stream about an hour. At the very least, like minimum, to get stuff done. So thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next stream. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching over there. And see you on the